Mother abandons disabled daughter. A wolf does something shocking to the girl. A story that will leave you speechless. What happens halfway through completely changes the ending. We'd love to know which city you're watching this video from. Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and turn on the notification bell to stay up till Luana gazed out the small, grimy window of her stepmother Hinata's house, her wheelchair stationed firmly by the side. At 14, her world had shrunk to the confines of that cold, sterile room. Her legs, weak and unresponsive, were a daily reminder of her vulnerability. Hinata, with her sharp tongue and colder heart, offered little comfort. She saw Luana's disability not as a burden but as an inconvenience, a constant reminder of her own failures. One crisp autumn morning, as the sun began to dip behind the towering pines surrounding their home, Hinata made a decision that would change Luana's life forever. "You're a liability," she declared, her voice devoid of any empathy. "The forest is no place for the weak." Before Luana could protest, Hinata had already wheeled her out of the house and into the dense, untamed wilderness. The forest loomed large and foreboding, its ancient trees whispering secrets in the wind. Luana felt a surge of fear as the reality of her situation sank in. She was alone, abandoned in a place where survival was anything but guaranteed. As night fell, the temperature plummeted, and the sounds of the forest grew louder and more menacing. Luana struggled to navigate the uneven ground, her wheelchair hindered by roots and rocks. The darkness seemed to close in around her, amplifying her sense of isolation. Her heart pounded in her chest, each beat echoing her desperation. Just as the cold began to seep into her bones, two piercing yellow eyes emerged from the shadows. Luana froze, her breath catching in her throat. A massive black wolf stood before her, its fur sleek and eyes intelligent. Unlike any wolf she had ever heard of in stories, this creature exuded a presence that was both intimidating and strangely comforting. The wolf took a cautious step forward, its gaze unwavering. Luana felt a flicker of hope amidst her fear. Despite her initial terror, she sensed no immediate threat from the animal. Instead, there was a silent understanding, a mutual recognition of shared pain and resilience. The forest, with all its dangers, suddenly felt a little less daunting with this enigmatic protector by her side. As the night deepened, the wolf remained with her, its presence a beacon of light in the oppressive darkness. Luana found herself talking to the creature, sharing her fears and regrets. Though she knew the wolf couldn't respond, the act of voicing her thoughts provided a semblance of solace. In that moment, amidst the shadows and the chill, a bond was forged, a connection that would guide her through the trials to come. The first light of dawn filtered through the dense canopy, casting dappled shadows on the forest floor. Luana awoke to the soft sounds of rustling leaves and distant bird calls, her body still aching from the night's cold embrace. She glanced to her side, half expecting the enigmatic wolf to have vanished, but there it was, sitting vigilantly nearby, its golden eyes reflecting the morning light. Determined to survive, Luana took a deep breath, gathering her resolve. She needed to find shelter and a way to signal for help, but her wheelchair proved to be a constant obstacle in the uneven terrain. The forest was vast and labyrinthine, with trails that seemed to shift and change as if the woods themselves were alive. As she pushed her wheelchair forward, the wolf moved alongside her, occasionally glancing back as if ensuring she was keeping up. Luana began to notice subtle signs of the forest's hidden life, the way certain plants seemed to guide her path, and how the sounds of the wildlife formed a symphony of nature's resilience. Hours passed, and the sun climbed higher into the sky. Luana's initial fear began to ebb, replaced by a cautious optimism. She discovered a small clearing where wildflowers bloomed in vibrant hues, their colors a stark contrast to the dark greens and browns of the surrounding trees. Here, the wolf seemed to encourage her to rest, settling beside her as she took a moment to breathe. While resting, Luana examined her surroundings more closely. She noticed ancient carvings on the trunks of nearby trees, symbols that seemed to tell a story long forgotten. Intrigued, she reached out to touch one of the carvings, tracing the intricate patterns with her fingers. As she did, a faint warmth spread through her hand, and the symbols began to glow softly, illuminating the clearing with an ethereal light. Startled, Luana pulled her hand back, but the glow persisted, casting dancing shadows around her. The wolf watched intently, its eyes reflecting the mysterious light. Suddenly, a soft voice echoed through the clearing, seemingly emanating from the trees themselves. "Welcome, Luana." Startled, she looked around, searching for the source of the voice. "Who's there?" she called out, her voice trembling. The voice responded, gentle yet commanding. "You are chosen to uncover the secrets of these woods. Your journey is intertwined with the fate of the forest." Luana felt a surge of confusion and curiosity. "What do you mean? How do you know my name?" The symbols on the trees pulsed with light, and the air seemed to shimmer with magic. "The bond between you and the wolf is ancient. Together, you hold the key to restoring balance and uncovering truths that have been hidden for generations." As the voice faded, the symbols dimmed, and the clearing returned to its natural state. Luana sat in stunned silence, trying to process the revelation. The wolf nudged her gently, as if urging her to continue. With newfound determination, she decided to explore the forest further, believing that the answers she sought lay deeper within the whispering woods. As the day progressed, Luana and the wolf ventured into uncharted territory, encountering both beauty and danger. They navigated through thick underbrush, crossed bubbling brooks, and climbed rocky outcrops. Along the way, Luana discovered that the wolf possessed an uncanny ability to sense hidden paths and evade threats, making their partnership invaluable. Their journey was not without peril. Shadows seemed to move with intent, and the air was thick with an unseen presence. Luana could feel eyes watching them, but the wolf remained steadfast, its presence a constant source of strength and protection. They encountered remnants of old structures, overgrown cabins and forgotten trails, that hinted at the forest's long and storied past. As dusk approached, they found themselves at the edge of a mysterious grove where the trees formed a natural amphitheater. In the center stood a stone altar, covered in moss and vine, its surface etched with the same symbols Luana had seen earlier. The grove exuded a powerful energy, and Luana felt a connection she couldn't quite explain. Suddenly, the ground beneath her wheelchair began to tremble. Luana struggled to maintain control as the altar emitted a blinding light, enveloping her and the wolf. The forest around them seemed to dissolve, and Luana felt herself being pulled into a vortex of memories and visions. She saw glimpses of her past, moments of joy with her late father, the day her mother passed away, and the cruel treatment she endured under Hinata's rule. Interwoven with these personal memories were visions of the forest's history, tales of guardians, ancient magic, and a prophecy that spoke of a chosen one who would bridge the human world and the realm of nature. As the visions faded, Luana found herself back in the grove, the light dimming to a gentle glow. She looked at the wolf, now transformed into a majestic figure cloaked in shadows and light. "I understand now," she whispered. "We're meant to protect this forest together." The wolf nodded, its eyes reflecting a depth of wisdom beyond its years. "Your strength lies not in your legs, but in your heart and spirit. Together, we can overcome any obstacle." With renewed purpose, Luana knew that her journey was just beginning. The forest held many secrets, and with the wolf by her side, she felt ready to face whatever challenges awaited them. The morning sun cast long shadows through the towering trees as Luana and her wolf companion continued their journey deeper into the forest. The air was thick with the scent of pine and earth, a stark contrast to the sterile environment of Hinata's house. Despite her initial fear and uncertainty, Luana felt a growing sense of determination. The visions in the grove had ignited a spark within her, a desire to uncover the mysteries that bound her fate to the ancient woods. As they moved forward, the forest seemed to respond to their presence. Birds sang melodies that resonated with the rhythm of their steps, and the leaves rustled softly as if whispering secrets only Luana could understand. The wolf walked with a grace that belied its size, effortlessly navigating the rugged terrain. Occasionally, it would pause and gaze into the distance, as if sensing something unseen. After several hours of trekking, Luana noticed a change in the environment. The trees grew denser, their branches intertwining to form a natural canopy that dimmed the light. The path became narrower, winding through thick underbrush and around ancient stone structures covered in moss and vines. It was here that they encountered their first significant obstacle, a swift, babbling brook blocking their path. Luana struggled to maneuver her wheelchair through the tangled roots and slippery rocks that formed the brook's bed. The current was too strong to attempt crossing by herself, and the depth was uncertain. Frustration bubbled within her as she realized the limitations of her mobility in this unforgiving landscape. Just as doubt began to creep in, the wolf approached the water's edge, its eyes scanning the current. Without warning, the wolf crouched low and began to howl, a deep, resonant sound that echoed through the forest. Luana watched in awe as the water around them began to shimmer and glow with a silvery light. Slowly, a series of stepping stones emerged from the brook, forming a safe path across. The wolf led the way, confidently traversing each stone before turning to wait for Luana. With careful determination, Luana pushed her wheelchair onto the first stone. The stones were smooth and stable, guiding her safely across the turbulent water. The wolf followed closely, its presence a reassuring constant. Reaching the other side, Luana felt a surge of accomplishment. She realized that the wolf was not just a protector but also a guide, helping her navigate both the physical challenges of the forest and the emotional turmoil within her. As they continued their journey, the forest began to open up into a breathtaking landscape of rolling hills and vibrant meadows. Wildflowers of every color painted the ground, and a gentle breeze carried the scent of blooming blossoms. In the distance, Luana spotted a small, quaint village nestled between the hills and a sparkling river. Smoke curled lazily from chimneys, and the sounds of daily life reached her ears. Curiosity piqued, Luana decided to investigate. Perhaps this village held the key to understanding the forest's secrets or provided a means to find help. The wolf seemed to sense her intent, its pace quickening as they approached the settlement. As they neared the village, Luana noticed the inhabitants moving with purpose, engaged in various tasks, some tending to gardens, others repairing structures or trading goods. The villagers, upon seeing Luana and the wolf, paused their activities, casting curious glances their way. Luana felt a mix of apprehension and hope. Could these people offer assistance, or were they potential threats? Approaching the village center, Luana and the wolf came upon a large stone fountain, its water sparkling in the sunlight. An elderly woman stood beside it, her silver hair cascading over her shoulders and her eyes twinkling with wisdom. She wore a cloak adorned with intricate embroidery that seemed to depict the very symbols Luana had seen in the forest. "Welcome, traveler," the woman greeted, her voice warm and inviting. "I am Alara, the guardian of this village. What brings you to our humble home?" Luana took a deep breath, gathering her courage. "I was abandoned in the forest by my stepmother. I don't know why I'm here, but I feel like I'm meant to uncover something important about this place." Alara studied Luana for a moment, her eyes reflecting a deep understanding. The forest holds many secrets, and not all who enter are lost by chance. Your arrival was foretold by the ancient prophecies. The bond you share with the wolf is a sign that you are destined to play a crucial role in restoring balance to these lands. Luana felt a flicker of hope ignite within her. "What do I need to do?" Alara gestured toward a nearby bench. "Come, sit with me. There is much to discuss, and answers to be found." As they settled by the fountain, Alara began to share the history of the forest and the village. She spoke of ancient guardians, magical creatures, and a delicate equilibrium that had been disrupted by dark forces. Luana listened intently, the pieces of her vision slowly falling into place. She realized that her journey was not just about survival but about fulfilling a destiny intertwined with the very essence of the forest. Just as Alara was about to reveal more, a loud crash echoed from the edge of the village. Panic surged through the air as villagers scrambled to defend their home. Luana instinctively pushed her wheelchair toward Alara, seeking guidance and protection. The wolf growled, positioning itself between Luana and the impending threat. Emerging from the shadows were a group of men armed with axes and torches, their faces twisted with anger and desperation. "We can't let outsiders disrupt the forest's balance," one of them shouted, brandishing his weapon. "Leave now, or face the consequences." Alara stood firmly, her presence commanding respect. "They are not outsiders, but chosen allies. There is no need for violence." The tension was palpable as the two sides faced off. Luana felt her heart race, torn between fear and the newfound strength that had been awakened within her. She knew that the path ahead would be fraught with challenges, but with the wolf and Alara by her side, she felt ready to confront whatever lay ahead. Tension crackled in the air as the villagers faced off against the group of angry men. Luana felt her pulse race, the weight of the moment pressing down on her. Alara stood her ground, her presence calm yet commanding. The wolf, sensing the escalating danger, positioned itself protectively beside Luana, its eyes never leaving the approaching threat. "We mean no harm," Alara called out, her voice steady. "We are here to help restore the balance that has been lost." One of the hostile men, a burly figure with a scar running down his left cheek, stepped forward. "Help? How can you help? You're outsiders, meddling in affairs you don't understand." Before Alara could respond, another villager, a younger man with nervous eyes, spoke up. "Wait. He's right. We've been struggling to maintain the balance. Maybe they can offer a solution." The scarred man hesitated, glancing uncertainly between Alara and the newcomers. Luana seized the moment, her voice cleared despite her fear. "I was told by the forest that I have a role to play in restoring its harmony. Together, we can overcome the darkness that threatens us all." Alara nodded in agreement. The prophecy speaks of a chosen one and a guardian from the wild. Luana and the wolf embody this union. Let us work together to uncover the secrets that will save our home. The scarred man's expression softened slightly, though skepticism lingered in his eyes. "And what exactly do you propose we do?" Before Alara could answer, the wolf stepped forward, its demeanor shifting from defensive to authoritative. A low growl resonated from deep within its throat, commanding attention without aggression. The men watched in awe as the wolf's eyes glowed faintly, the same golden hue that had first met Luana's gaze in the darkness. The wolf began to move towards the stone altar in the grove, its steps deliberate and purposeful. Alara followed, turning to the villagers. "There is an ancient ritual that can restore the balance, but it requires unity and understanding between all of us. The forest itself is guiding us." Luana felt a surge of hope. Perhaps this was the key to not only her survival but also to healing the rift between the villagers and the forest. She pushed her wheelchair forward, every movement deliberate as she approached the altar alongside Alara and the wolf. As they reached the altar, the symbols that had once glowed brightly began to shimmer again, reacting to the presence of the wolf and the collective intent of the group. Alara began to chant softly, her words intertwining with the natural sounds of the forest. The villagers, initially hesitant, joined in, their voices blending into a harmonious melody. Luana closed her eyes, focusing on the bond she shared with the wolf. She could feel the ancient magic coursing through her, connecting her to the forest in ways she had never imagined. The ground beneath them thrummed with energy, and the air sparkled with the promise of renewal. Suddenly, a surge of dark energy burst forth from the shadows at the edge of the grove. The hostile men had not given up, and their leader stepped forward once more, brandishing a makeshift weapon. "This isn't working. We need to take matters into our own hands." Before he could strike, the wolf unleashed a powerful howl that resonated through the forest. A protective barrier of shimmering light enveloped Luana, Elara, and the villagers, deflecting the attack and sending the hostile men stumbling back in fear. The wolf then transformed, its form shifting into a more ethereal state, revealing its true nature as a guardian spirit of the forest. The transformation left the villagers in stunned silence. Elara continued her chant, now infused with the wolf's magic, guiding the ritual towards completion. The symbols on the altar blazed with light, and the entire grove seemed to come alive, the trees swaying in a synchronized dance of renewal. As the ritual reached its climax, a brilliant light enveloped the grove, and Luana felt a profound sense of connection and purpose. Visions of the forest's past, present, and future flashed before her eyes, revealing the intricate web of life that depended on the balance she was destined to restore. When the light finally faded, the grove stood transformed. The air was clear, the darkness dispelled, and a palpable sense of harmony settled over the land. The villagers, now united in their mission, looked to Luana and Elara with newfound respect and hope. Elara turned to Luana, a proud smile on her face. "You have fulfilled your part of the prophecy, Luana. But our journey is far from over. There are greater challenges ahead, and together, we will face them." Luana nodded, feeling the strength and support of those around her. With the wolf by her side and the villagers united, she realized that she was no longer alone. Her journey had transformed from one of survival to one of leadership and purpose, guiding others towards a brighter future. As the sun set over the rejuvenated grove, casting a golden glow on the horizon, Luana felt a deep sense of belonging. The forest, once a place of fear and uncertainty, had become a sanctuary where she could thrive and make a difference. But little did she know, the greatest revelation was yet to come, a secret that would challenge everything she thought she knew about her past and the true nature of her bond with the wolf. The days that followed the successful ritual in the grove were filled with a newfound sense of hope and unity among the villagers. The forest thrived, its vibrant energy a testament to the restoration of balance. Luana, once a frightened and isolated girl, now stood as a beacon of strength and leadership alongside Elara and the wolf guardian. However, beneath the surface of this renewed harmony, subtle tensions began to emerge. While most villagers embraced the changes, a faction remained skeptical, harboring doubts about the true extent of the forest's magic and the prophecy that had brought Luana to them. Among them was Marcus, a stern and pragmatic man who had always questioned the old ways. One evening, as the sun set in a blaze of orange and pink, casting long shadows across the village, Elara called for a council meeting in the newly restored amphitheater. Lanterns hung from the trees, illuminating the gathering as villagers assembled to discuss the next steps in maintaining the forest's balance. Luana sat beside Elara, the wolf resting comfortably at her side. The atmosphere was tense, the air thick with anticipation. Marcus stood at the front, his expression guarded as he addressed the crowd. "We have witnessed remarkable changes since the ritual," Marcus began, his voice steady but laced with skepticism. "But we must remain vigilant. Not everyone in the forest may agree with our newfound harmony. We need to ensure our safety and the sustainability of our village." Elara nodded thoughtfully. "Your concerns are valid, Marcus. The forest is a living entity, and its harmony depends on our continued respect and understanding. We must continue to work together, guided by the wisdom of the ancient prophecies." As the meeting progressed, Luana couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. Her visions from the grove still lingered in her mind, hinting at deeper connections and unresolved mysteries. She glanced at the wolf, whose golden eyes seemed to hold secrets of their own. After the meeting, Luana approached Elara privately. Elara, I feel like there's more to the prophecy. Something that connects me even deeper to the forest and the wolf. Elara placed a reassuring hand on Luana's shoulder. You are correct, Luana. The prophecy is intricate, and your role is more significant than we initially understood. There are ancient secrets that we have yet to uncover, secrets that may hold the key to ensuring lasting peace. Determined to uncover the truth, Luana decided to explore the depths of the forest further. With Elara's blessing, she planned to venture into areas that had remained untouched by the villagers, places where the forest's magic was said to be the strongest. That night, under the cover of darkness, Luana set out with the wolf as her guide. The moonlight filtered through the canopy, casting an ethereal glow on their path. As they ventured deeper, the air grew thicker with enchantment, and the sounds of the forest became more pronounced, as if the very trees were alive and watching. After hours of trekking, they arrived at the entrance of an ancient grove, hidden from the casual observer. The trees here were older, their trunks wide and gnarled, and their branches intertwined to form a natural archway. In the center stood a stone pedestal, similar to the altar from the previous ritual, but covered in intricate carvings that pulsed with a faint, otherworldly light. Luana approached the pedestal cautiously, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and excitement. As she reached out to touch the carvings, memories surged through her mind, visions of a life she had never lived, faces she didn't recognize, and a deep, unbreakable bond with the wolf that went beyond mere companionship. She staggered back, overwhelmed by the intensity of the memories. The wolf nuzzled her gently, offering silent support. These memories, they're not mine alone. They belong to both of us, Luana whispered, tears welling in her eyes. At that moment, a figure emerged from the shadows of the grove. Cloaked in darkness, the figure stepped forward, revealing eyes that mirrored the golden hue of the wolf's. You have unlocked the gateway to our shared past, Luana, the figure spoke, their voice resonating with ancient power. It is time you understand the true nature of your bond and the destiny that awaits you. Luana turned to face the mysterious figure, her fear tempered by the strength she had gained through her journey. Who are you? What do you mean by our shared past? The figure extended a hand, revealing a pendant that glowed with the same symbols that adorned the stone pedestal. I am Arion, the last of the forest guardians. Our souls are intertwined, bound by an ancient magic that transcends time and space. You, Luana, are the key to restoring the full harmony between humanity and nature. But dark forces seek to disrupt this balance for their own gain. Before Luana could respond, the ground beneath them began to tremble. Dark tendrils of shadow crept along the forest floor, emanating from a fissure that had opened nearby. The air grew cold, and an oppressive presence filled the grove. We must act quickly, Arion urged. The dark forces are awakening, and only by embracing your true heritage can you hope to thwart their plans. Luana looked to the wolf, who stood resolute by her side, its eyes burning with determination. What do I need to do? Arion raised the pendant, and a surge of energy enveloped the grove. You must harness the ancient magic within you, awaken the full potential of your bond with the Guardian, and lead the charge against the darkness that threatens to consume our world. As the shadows advanced, Luana felt a newfound power stirring within her. Memories of past guardians and their sacrifices filled her mind, merging with her present resolve. She knew that her journey was far from over, in fact, it was only just beginning. With Arion's guidance and the unwavering support of the wolf and the villagers, Luana prepared to face the looming threat. The fate of the forest, and perhaps the entire world, rested on her shoulders. As the first battle lines were drawn, Luana embraced her destiny, ready to uncover the full extent of her powers and the secrets that would define her future. As the days turned into weeks, Luana immersed herself in learning to harness her newfound powers. Under Arion's tutelage, she discovered she could communicate with the forest, channeling its energy to heal and protect. The villagers, inspired by her leadership, began to embrace their roles as stewards of the land, rebuilding structures and restoring natural habitats. However, the shadowy forces grew bolder. Dark creatures emerged from the fissures, threatening both the village and the forest's harmony. Marcus, once a skeptic, became a vital ally, using his pragmatic skills to strategize defenses and organize the villagers. The unity among them strengthened, but the looming threat remained ever-present. One evening, Alara revealed a hidden chamber beneath the village's ancient well. Inside, murals depicted the history of the forest guardians and the cyclical battles between light and darkness. Among the murals, a central image stood out, a pendant identical to the one Arion wore, symbolizing the union of human and guardian spirits. It became clear that Luana's pendant was not just a symbol but a key to unlocking deeper magic. As the first major assault by the dark forces approached, Luana led the villagers in a coordinated defense. Utilizing her abilities, she summoned protective barriers and healed the wounded, while the wolf and Marcus directed the villagers with precision. The battle was fierce, testing their resolve and unity. Just when it seemed the shadows would overwhelm them, Luana tapped into a deeper reservoir of power, turning the tide and driving the dark forces back. Exhausted but victorious, the villagers celebrated their hard-fought triumph. Luana realized that their strength lay not just in her powers but in their collective spirit and cooperation. Yet, a lingering unease remained, hinting that the true challenge was yet to come. In the aftermath of the battle, Luana sought answers about the origin of the dark forces. Arion guided her to the heart of the forest, where an ancient tree known as the Elder Tree stood. Its massive trunk was inscribed with runes that pulsed with life. As Luana touched the Elder Tree, visions flooded her mind, memories of past guardians who had faced similar threats. She saw Arion's predecessor, a guardian who had sacrificed everything to seal the darkness away. The realization hit her: the dark forces were remnants of an ancient evil that sought to break free once more. Arion revealed a crucial truth: the pendant was not only a key but also a beacon for the guardians. It signified a chosen one who could bridge the human and guardian realms, ensuring the balance was maintained. Luana's bond with the wolf was the manifestation of this ancient magic, meant to empower her in times of great need. Meanwhile, Marcus uncovered old texts that hinted at a hidden relic, the Heartstone, that could amplify their powers and provide a definitive advantage against the darkness. The villagers agreed to embark on a quest to find it, believing it to be the key to lasting peace. Luana, Arion, Marcus, and a group of brave villagers set out on their journey to locate the Heartstone. Guided by the wolf's instincts and ancient maps, they navigated through treacherous terrains, swampy marshes, towering cliffs, and enchanted groves. Along the way, they faced numerous challenges, from natural obstacles to ambushes by dark creatures. During their travels, Luana formed a deeper connection with the wolf, discovering that it could transform into a more formidable guardian form when needed. This bond not only enhanced her abilities but also provided emotional support, reminding her of the importance of trust and companionship. As they neared their destination, the group encountered a mysterious hermit named Thorn, who possessed knowledge about the Heartstone. Initially distrustful, Thorn revealed that the Heartstone was guarded by an ancient spirit who tested the worthiness of those who sought it. To prove themselves, the group had to confront their deepest fears and insecurities. Each member faced personal trials. Luana confronted her fear of abandonment and her stepmother's cruelty, Marcus dealt with his skepticism and loneliness, and Alara faced doubts about her role as the village guardian. Through these challenges, they emerged stronger and more united, proving their worthiness to the ancient spirit. Upon reaching the sacred sanctuary where the Heartstone was kept, the group was met by the ancient spirit, a luminous entity named Seraphis. The spirit tested their intentions and purity of heart, ensuring that the Heartstone would only be wielded by those with selfless motives. Satisfied with their sincerity, Seraphis granted them access to the Heartstone. The moment Luana touched the gem, a surge of energy flowed through her, amplifying her powers and granting her the ability to control the elements. The Heartstone's magic intertwined with her own, creating a harmonious balance that could repel the dark forces once and for all. However, as they prepared to return, Seraphis warned them of a final confrontation with the source of the darkness, a corrupted guardian named Morvith, who sought to dominate the forest and beyond. To defeat Morvith, Luana had to fully embrace her role as the Chosen One and lead the united forces of humans and guardians. With the Heartstone secured, the group made their way back to the village, ready to face the impending threat. As the group returned, the forest was shrouded in an unnatural darkness. Morvith's presence was palpable, his twisted form wreaking havoc on the once peaceful woods. The villagers rallied behind Luana, Arion, Marcus, and the wolf, preparing for the ultimate battle to save their home. Luana stood at the forefront, the Heartstone glowing brightly around her neck. Drawing strength from the villagers and the forest, she channeled the Heartstone's power, creating a protective aura that shielded them from Morvith's assaults. The wolf transformed into its guardian form, leading the charge against the dark forces. The battle was intense, with Morvith unleashing devastating attacks that tested Luana's resilience. In the heat of the fight, Arion and Marcus worked together to coordinate the villagers' defenses, while Alara used her knowledge of ancient magic to support Luana's efforts. As the confrontation reached its peak, Luana realized that brute force alone would not defeat Morvith. She needed to reach the corrupted guardian's heart, to understand his pain and offer redemption. Summoning all her courage, she approached Morvith, using her connection to the forest to communicate. Through her empathy and the Heartstone's magic, Luana reached out to Morvith, revealing the possibility of healing and restoring balance. The transformation was slow, but gradually, Morvith's darkness began to lift, replaced by a sense of peace and clarity. The forest responded, its light overpowering the remnants of the shadows. With Morvith redeemed, the dark forces dissipated, and the forest flourished once more. The villagers celebrated their victory, honoring Luana as a true leader and guardian. Arion revealed his true form as a spirit of the forest, expressing gratitude for Luana's bravery and wisdom. In the aftermath of the battle, Luana found herself drawn to a secluded part of the forest where the Heartstone had originated. There, she encountered a hidden grove bathed in radiant light. At its center stood a mirror-like pool, reflecting not just her image but her deepest memories and truths. As Luana gazed into the pool, a profound revelation unfolded. She saw visions of her past, how her father had been a guardian who protected the forest, and how her stepmother Hanade, driven by jealousy and fear, had betrayed their family, leaving Luana to fend for herself. The abandonment was not just cruelty but part of a larger scheme to disrupt the guardianship and seize the forest's magic for herself. Understanding the full extent of her heritage, Luana realized that her journey was not only about saving the forest but also about reclaiming her rightful place as a guardian. The bond with the wolf was a legacy passed down through generations, symbolizing the unity between humans and guardians. As Luana embraced her destiny, a final twist emerged. Hanade, who had been presumed dead after abandoning Luana, appeared at the edge of the grove. Her eyes, once cold and cruel, now reflected a deep sorrow and regret. "I never meant for it to come to this," Hanade confessed, her voice breaking. "I was consumed by fear and envy. Seeing you now, I realize the true power and beauty of what we protect." Before Luana could respond, Hanade revealed her own hidden pendant, a dark counterpart to the Heartstone. She had been attempting to harness the forest's magic for her gain, inadvertently unleashing the dark forces that threatened everything. Her actions had been a misguided attempt to regain control and power. Moved by Hanade's remorse, Luana extended her hand, offering forgiveness and a chance for redemption. The Heartstone and Hanade's pendant resonated together, creating a harmonious energy that healed the rift between them. Hanade's darkness was cleansed, and she found peace, finally understanding the true meaning of guardianship and love. With the darkness vanquished and the forest restored, life in the village blossomed like never before. The Heartstone became a symbol of unity and hope, its magic ensuring the prosperity of both humans and guardians. Luana continued to lead with wisdom and compassion, her bond with the wolf and the villagers stronger than ever. Arion, now free to ascend, bestowed his blessings upon Luana, ensuring that her legacy would endure for generations. Marcus, inspired by the events, dedicated himself to preserving the forest's history and teaching future generations the importance of balance and harmony. As the seasons changed, the forest thrived, a testament to the resilience and unity of its protectors. Luana found her place not only as a guardian but also as a bridge between worlds, embodying the spirit of cooperation and understanding that had saved them all. In the heart of the forest, under the watchful gaze of the elder tree, Luana knew that her journey had only just begun. With the lessons learned and the bonds forged, she was ready to face whatever challenges the future might hold, confident in the strength of her spirit and the enduring magic of the natural world. As Luana settled into her role, a final revelation came to light. The forest, it turned out, was a living entity that thrived on the harmony between its guardians and the humans who respected it. The Heartstone was not just a source of power but a conduit for the forest's collective consciousness. One day, while meditating by the mirror-like pool, Luana experienced a vision of countless past guardians, each contributing to the forest's legacy. She realized that her actions had a ripple effect, influencing the balance of nature far beyond her immediate surroundings. The true plot twist was that the forest itself had chosen her not only to save it but to become its eternal guardian, ensuring that the harmony would continue perpetually. Embracing this destiny, Luana accepted her role with humility and grace. She understood that her journey was part of a much larger tapestry, woven with threads of courage, love, and the unwavering spirit of both humans and nature. The story of Luana and the wolf became a legend, inspiring future generations to cherish and protect the delicate balance of their world. A Menina e o Lobo concluded as a tale of transformation, unity, and the enduring power of the human spirit in harmony with nature. Luana's journey from abandonment to leadership underscored the importance of resilience, empathy, and the profound connections that bind us all to the world around us.